Hi, so who am I? I'm Ted Santos, and who do I work for? I'm the chairman of the Board of Veteran CEOs, and we provide high-level services to senior executives of mid-sized to large companies. Today, I'd like to talk to you about some of the services that we provide to them. And one of the critical services that we provide to our senior executives is helping them to create breakthroughs or quantum leap. One of the challenges that we face when working with these executives or any company is people often confuse a quantum leap with an improvement. Improvements are not breakthroughs. Improvements, while important, are essentially doing more, better, or different of what you already know how to do. A breakthrough, on the other hand, is a result, an outcome that you either didn't know how to do, it was the wrong time, you didn't have the resources, your people are not ready. It's that outcome that you are committed to accomplishing, except it looks impossible or very difficult to do right now. Except once it's accomplished, it alters the future of your organization forever. Very much like the mile. So before 1956, no one could run the mile in less than 4 minutes. In fact, it was known that it was humanly impossible to run a mile in less than 4 minutes until the guy Roger Bannister in 1956 broke the 4-minute mile. And within weeks, a few other gentlemen broke the same. They broke the 4-minute mile as well. If you look at today, the mile is run in 3 minutes and 43 seconds. So that one day of Roger Bannister breaking that created a future for the mile being run faster and faster. When we look at corporations, so my thought is this: if breakthroughs create such huge opportunities for companies or people, why don't most people or organizations produce breakthroughs? There are lots of improvements in the world with companies, lots, except you don't hear about a lot of breakthroughs. I'm going to say what stops a breakthrough are belief systems. It's what people presuppose is possible or impossible. It's what people already know and predetermine. So if you think about, there was a time where people had a belief system that said the earth was flat. That limited travel. There was a time that people said if man were meant to fly, he would have wings. That created a huge impediment in us being able to create flight. Except once there were breakthroughs in those areas, it created a huge opportunity and other possibilities that just were not available because of the limiting beliefs. And those belief systems create barriers and roadblocks and impediments to possibilities that may be right here in front of you. From a business perspective, we can look at Apple Computer. In 1983, Steve Jobs created this device he called a notebook. And it later became what we know as the iPad, except in 1983, it failed miserably. How is it that a product that fails miserably in one year is a wild success in another year? That's an example of limiting beliefs. And I know many of you may say, wait a second, Ted, that Jobs was ahead of his time, or technology wasn't available, it didn't catch up, or there is a long list of why that notebook failed in 1983. While I wasn't there, I'm willing to say the impediment was the belief system of his employees and his suppliers. There's a good chance they may have believed, hey Steve, this doesn't make sense. This little thing, this computer that you want to put in the palm of people's hands is never going to sell. No one's going to buy it. And if you think about it, yeah, it makes sense, because in 1983, most people didn't have computers in their house. Most didn't even have a computer on their desk in the office. So why are people going to now want to have a computer in the palm of their hand? If we take it a step further, from 1983 until today, there have been no new natural resources added to planet Earth. The same resources that were available in the 21st century to make the iPod were available in 1983. The only resource, natural resource, that was missing was here, thought process. That was missing. People had already presupposed it was impossible. So, because they had a job to do, both employees and suppliers, they created a device that supported their belief systems, which says it was impossible. So they gave Jobs what he wanted, but they gave it to them to prove their point of view was correct. And this is a big challenge when companies want to produce breakthroughs. People already have presuppositions that say it's impossible, we can't do it, we've never done that before. So when we work with our clients, instead of us going in and saying, you guys can produce a breakthrough, the first thing we have to do is work with them to break through the limiting beliefs, the barriers, and the roadblocks. Once we're able to get them beyond, you could say, the box they're in, and get them out of the box, they're actually able to see possibilities that just were not available. Some of them were right here in front of them, except they just couldn't see it. So, I'd like to have conversations with you. I'm going to do a series of videos that all focus on breakthroughs in some capacity. It could be a breakthrough in leadership, transforming corporate culture, breakthroughs in products and services, or in mergers and acquisitions. And I'm going to have conversations on these topics through these videos. I'd love to hear your feedback, your comments, even your questions or concerns. And some of your concerns can be, yeah, Ted, how about what if you said that doesn't make sense? I'd love to hear them all. You can find me on my Facebook page, which is Ted Santos, or you can contact me personally through my email, which is tsantos@turnaroundip.com, and IP is like intellectual property. I look forward to hearing from you. Until then, I have one question for you. What would be a breakthrough for you?